Hi everybody, in this video we're going to look at creating a levitating effect using Photoshop. So let's get started. The first thing you need is two photographs. So I have one here of me sitting on a stool, and then I have one image of me not sitting anywhere, so with the subject matter not in the frame. So you're going to need these two photographs. Notice that the photos don't change, so they've been taken on a tripod, which is very important to get that same shot with your subject there and your subject not there. Okay, so let's get into the technique. So here's my layers, and what I need to do is I'm going to take me sitting on this stool, and I'm going to copy. So Command A or Control A if you're on a PC, and I'm going to copy. So let's copy, and now I'm going to Command C. So Command A and then Command C, and let's paste it here. Command V. So now I have two layers. I have one layer with me on the stool, and the layer underneath, you can see I can turn off the eyeball just to temporarily disable the layer. Okay, so the next step is to select the stool and press delete. So I'm going to just get a regular lasso tool here, and I'll zoom in. So that's Command plus, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select around everywhere that I see the stool. Okay, so here I'm moving around my lasso, and I'm going to just broadly select the stool here, and I'm going to press delete. Okay, so you can see it's deleting this what's on this layer and revealing the layer below, which has nothing. Now you can also see that there's some cleanup that we need to do here, because I do see a reflection of the stool legs, so I'm going to scoop that up as well and delete it. And now we're left with some hard-edged lines. So you can do this with masking, or even easier, just the eraser here. And I'm going to making sure that my eraser is the hardness at a 0, because I want a nice soft eraser. I'm going to just kind of graze over the edge here, and you can kind of see it's kind of blending that line away. Now be careful not to erase yourself here. So if I get closer, as I get closer to me, I'm going to just use a smaller brush, and you can see I'm just kind of hitting at this a bit. Now I can get a little bit bigger, and I almost want to erase, so I can get a bigger brush here. The bigger the brush, the more blending you'll see to knock away that hard edge. So there, that's perfect. And you can erase more if you feel like you need to. See? Okay, so now I'm going to just take a look here, and everything looks good. I'm going to put myself as a reflection down below. So to do that, we need to first select myself, because I think there would be a bit of a reflection here. So a quick way to select, it's a brand new 2020 tool, is this object selection tool. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to just scoop around me. And it's pretty smart. Let's see if it goes well. Yes, it did pretty well. Got just a little bit of extra here. So to subtract from a selection, you hold Option as you use this lasso tool, and I'm just going to scoop that little edge away. Alright, now that I have myself, I'm going to copy. So Command or Control C and Control V to paste, and you can see I have a duplicate. Now, I'm going to edit, transform, and flip this vertically. So now I have that. And I'm going to move it down here. Now this reflection will probably be right here, or maybe even a little lower. You can also do this, edit, transform, and distort. And what this will do is it will kind of do something like this, where you can kind of distort the image to give it a little bit of an angle. And we'll see if that looks okay. I'll press return. Now obviously this reflection is a little bit too dark. So we have an opacity slider over here on our layer. If you don't see your layers, you can always go to Window, Layers to bring them up. So I'm going to lower the opacity. And I'm also going to change the blend mode. So a lot of times, when you throw down the opacity, it looks a little bit muddy. I want to get the nice highlights that are coming through this floor here. And to do that, we use a blend mode. So on the same layer that I've changed the opacity with, I'm going to roll down and find the blend mode that works for me. So it wouldn't be anything bright like this, but I can see that if I used soft light, you can see the difference between soft light and normal. Soft light kind of allows the highlights to come through. I'm also getting the texture on the floor, which is nice. Okay, so now there I have that, but I'm also going to blur this a bit. You can see, just, kind of look around at your picture, and it might give you some clues as to what to do with reflections or shadows. You can see that there is some good shadow or reflection here from the tables, but they're a little bit blurry. You can see the edge is a little blurry. Mine is not. It's still hard-edged. So how do we blur a layer? You can go to Filter, Blur, and Gaussian Blur. And now that looks like it's a little bit too much. And I'm going to zoom in here. You can kind of see that's a little bit too much. But I'm going to roll this back to get about the same type of blurriness as that other shadow. Okay, so there. I'm going to say OK. And I might even lower that opacity just a little bit more. And when we're all said and done here, that's what we have. I can potentially crop using this crop tool. I could crop away some of the stuff I don't want and press return. And that is how to get a levitating photograph. And that's the technique. So good luck and give it a try.